Have you ever thought fashion trends were designed only for the young, while women over 50 should limit themselves to safe choices? Many women feel this way, yet style has no expiration date. Fashion is more like a garden. In every season, with the right care, there are blossoms that thrive. Fall 2025 brings a fresh set of trends that speak not just to youth, but to sophistication at every age. Rich colors, precise tailoring, subtle movement, elevated basics, rustic elegance, sustainable choices, all of these directions are relevant to women who want to look modern without losing their sense of self. The real task is not following trends blindly, but translating them into a personal formula that enhances elegance and confidence. This season offers 7 defining trends that can be reinterpreted to suit the lifestyle and personality of women over 50. Worn thoughtfully, they don't overwhelm. Instead, they highlight presence, celebrate maturity, and keep style both current and timeless. The conversation ahead explores each of these elements, showing how they can be applied in ways that feel authentic and empowering. Are you ready to discover which of these trends can become part of your personal signature? Color carries extraordinary power, especially as we move through different stages of life. For women over 50, the right palette doesn't just refresh the wardrobe, it enhances complexion, softens features, and communicates confidence. The standout shades for fall 2025 are chocolate brown, mustard yellow, burgundy, and lettuce green. Each has a psychological impact and a visual effect that makes it worth considering. Chocolate brown is associated with warmth, stability, and quiet strength. Unlike black, which can cast harsh shadows on mature skin, chocolate brown creates depth without severity. When styled in a tailored coat or soft knit, it produces an aura of sophistication while still feeling approachable. Mustard yellow offers a burst of energy without overwhelming. Studies in color psychology show that golden yellows stimulate optimism and vitality, making them particularly effective when paired with neutral bases like gray, cream, or navy. A scarf or silk blouse in mustard immediately brightens the face and softens fine lines by reflecting warm light upward. Burgundy conveys authority, sensuality, and maturity. Pantone research in 2024 noted that nearly half of women over 50 selected deeper reds for special occasions because they balance elegance with impact. Burgundy flatters a wide range of skin tones and works seamlessly in both day and evening settings, whether in a blouse, a dress, or a structured blazer. Lettuce green is the most unexpected shade of the season. Fresh, cool, and connected to nature, it brings a sense of vitality often missing from autumn palettes. On fair complexions, it creates radiance, while on medium or darker tones, it pairs beautifully with ivory or beige for contrast. Worn in a silk blouse or layered knit, it communicates vibrancy and modernity. Practical application is key. When deciding whether a color belongs in your wardrobe, ask yourself, does this shade illuminate my face in natural light? Does it enhance my skin tone or cast it down? Do I feel energized when I wear it, or do I reach for it only because it's on trend? Clients often discover that introducing just one of these hues, whether through a blouse, a scarf, or even a handbag, can modernize an entire outfit. For example, one client in her late 50s who relied heavily on navy and gray added a burgundy silk blouse and immediately received compliments on looking more vibrant. Another layered a mustard scarf over a chocolate coat and found her complexion looked softer and more radiant in photographs. As with all style choices, balance is everything. Bold colors need neutral grounding, while softer tones benefit from thoughtful pairing with accessories. Once you've established a color palette that truly works for your skin and lifestyle, the next step is choosing silhouettes that complement your figure and allow these shades to shine in their best light. That is where the conversation naturally moves, from hue to cut, from color to fit. A blazer is more than a wardrobe staple, it's a tool of presence and authority. Its impact depends on how well the cut complements the body. For an apple shape, where fullness is concentrated through the midsection, a blazer with subtle waist shaping and well-fitted shoulders creates balance and draws the eye upward. Women with a pear shape benefit from blazers that broaden the shoulders. Structured pads or wider lapels even out proportions and shift attention away from the hips. Rectangle figures, often with less definition at the waist, come to life in double-breasted jackets, belted styles, or designs with princess seams that carve gentle curves. Hourglass shapes are naturally suited to tailoring that follows the body's lines. The key is avoiding excess bulk while allowing the jacket to trace the natural waist. Research underscores how transformative this piece can be. A 2022 study from the International Textile and Apparel Association found that 71% of women over 50 reported feeling significantly more confident in a blazer, and 65% named it the single item that most elevated their overall appearance. Those numbers reflect what every stylist sees. Tailoring communicates competence, sophistication, and a clear sense of self. My own shift came at 55 when I stepped away from my usual black and navy and tried a blazer in deep burgundy. I noticed immediately how my posture changed. I stood taller, my shoulders aligned naturally, and the richness of the color brought light to my complexion. When I walked into a meeting that day, a colleague remarked that I looked in command. That reaction taught me how powerful the right cut and color can be, not only in shaping perception, but in altering the way we carry ourselves. Ask yourself, when was the last time you wore a blazer that made you feel unstoppable? Have you experimented with colors beyond black or navy, perhaps a jewel tone or a muted camel? Did you notice how the room responded differently when you walked in? Fit is as important as color. Petite women often look overwhelmed by long-line jackets. Cropped or hip-length blazers create a longer leg line and keep proportions in check. Taller frames handle thigh-length jackets with ease, achieving a sleek and elongated silhouette. Sleeve length is another detail worth attention. The most flattering cut grazes the wrist bone, keeping movement graceful and polished. These subtleties are what separate a jacket that looks adequate from one that feels bespoke. When tailoring is right, the garment works in harmony with the wearer. You no longer put on a blazer, you inhabit it, projecting assurance without effort. Once this foundation is mastered, the next consideration is balance, introducing softness, flow, and movement to temper the strength of structure. This interplay between power and grace is what gives a wardrobe depth, and it leads directly into the importance of details that allow clothing to move with you. Movement in clothing adds dimension and presence. Fringes, tassels, and fabrics with natural drape bring subtle motion that softens structure and enhances femininity. These details create visual rhythm, allowing the garment to flow with the wearer rather than sit rigidly on the body. The challenge for women over 50 is balance. A jacket overwhelmed with fringe can look theatrical, but a finely edged tassel on a scarf or a blouse sleeve with gentle flair communicates refinement. Research on style psychology published in Harvard Business Review found that garments with light, visible motion increased perceptions of approachability and grace by nearly 20%. That kind of impact matters when first impressions are formed in seconds. In practice, this means choosing pieces where movement is controlled and intentional. A silk blouse with softly draped sleeves, a knit skirt with a fluid hemline, or a shawl with a narrow fringe can all add the right amount of softness. At an outdoor dinner party, I wore a cream shawl edged with tassels that shifted slightly as I moved. Guests noticed not the detail itself, but the sense of ease it created. It reminded me how subtle design choices can elevate presence without a word spoken. Ask yourself, are your clothes moving with you or against you? Do you notice a difference in how people respond when your outfit has elements that flow? Do you feel more relaxed, more confident when your clothing allows for motion rather than stiffness? The key is to make one element the focus. If the blouse sleeve already carries movement, keep jewelry minimal. If a scarf has fringe, let the rest of the look remain clean and structured. This ensures harmony instead of visual competition. According to the ARP Style Study 2022, 58% of women over 55 reported feeling more confident when their outfits included at least one soft, moving detail, compared to 42% who favored rigid, structured clothing. Confidence rises when the garment feels alive. Incorporating movement is also a way to balance tailoring. A sharply cut blazer gains warmth when paired with a blouse in a flowing fabric. Structured trousers soften when combined with a draped top. This interplay of strong lines and gentle motion is what makes a look modern, polished, and wearable. Once you understand how fluid details bring energy to an outfit, the next natural step is to examine how the essentials, the everyday pieces we reach for again and again, can be elevated through cut, fabric, and finish. It is in these foundations that timeless style truly begins. True elegance doesn't always come from statement pieces. More often, it begins with the basics, jeans, silk blouses, and knitwear, elevated through fabric, cut, and finish. These are the clothes we reach for repeatedly, and when chosen well, they set the tone for an entire wardrobe. Wide-leg jeans are one of the most effective updates for women over 50. Unlike skinny jeans, which can emphasize areas we may prefer to downplay, wide-leg styles with a higher rise create length through the leg and balance the silhouette. According to the NPD Group's 2023 apparel report, sales of wide-leg denim rose by more than 34% among women over 45, signaling a clear shift away from overly tight cuts. I replaced my dark skinny jeans with a khaki wide-leg pair, styled with a simple white shirt, and the compliments were immediate. The look felt modern yet effortless. Have you considered how the cut of your denim is shaping the impression you give? Silk blouses are another essential. Their natural drape and gentle sheen lift the complexion and soften lines, making them particularly flattering for mature skin. A champagne silk blouse works just as well under a tailored blazer as it does paired with jeans for a casual coffee. The Fashion Institute of Technology reported that 62% of women over 50 chose silk or satin for special occasions because of their ability to combine comfort with polish. I recall choosing a burgundy silk blouse instead of my usual cotton for a client dinner. It changed not only how others perceived me, but how I carried myself. Does your wardrobe include a silk blouse versatile enough to shift from day to evening? Fine knits provide the third foundation. Instead of heavy, bulky sweaters, opt for lightweight cashmere, merino, or tightly spun cotton blends. They add warmth without volume and flatter the body with subtle structure. The McKinsey State of Fashion Report 2024 found that premium knitwear purchases rose 17% among American women over 50, underscoring the growing demand for refined comfort. I own a pale gray cashmere sweater that I wear with black trousers and pearl studs. The effect is consistently mistaken for luxury, even though the investment was modest. When was the last time you compared how you feel in a regular sweater versus a cashmere knit? Basics, when elevated, become the canvas on which accessories, outerwear, and color can be layered. They provide flexibility, allowing you to create countless combinations without needing an overflowing closet. The real question is not how many new items you need, but whether your everyday pieces are refined enough to serve as a foundation for timeless style. Once the essentials are secure, The next step is exploring how style can also hold emotion and tradition. That's where countryside-inspired fashion comes into play, offering a way to blend heritage charm with a contemporary edge. Countryside chic is more than a seasonal trend. It's an aesthetic that blends nostalgia with sophistication. For women over 50, it offers a way to honor tradition while staying current. The building blocks are familiar: a plaid coat that feels timeless, leather boots that ground the look, and equestrian-inspired jackets that speak of refinement and strength. A plaid coat is not just outerwear, it carries heritage. Its clean checks and warm wool recall autumn walks and crisp air, yet in 2025 designers are cutting them with sleeker lines, ensuring they read polished rather than provincial. Statista's 2023 fashion report found plaid outerwear among the top 5 fall purchases for American women 50-65, a reminder that this motif remains relevant. Leather boots bring durability and presence. A high-quality pair can last a decade or more, molding to the wearer's stride and becoming part of her identity. Clients often tell me they feel more grounded and confident in boots compared to delicate shoes, especially in cooler months. Personally, a pair of brown riding boots I purchased years ago still draw compliments today. The patina and structure speak of both function and elegance. Equestrian jackets add a tailored edge. Their structured shoulders, fitted waists, and rich fabrics provide a strong silhouette without rigidity. They flatter the figure while hinting at tradition. I wore one recently to a gathering in the countryside, paired with slim trousers and a silk blouse, and the effect was described as classic yet strikingly modern. What makes this style resonate deeply is its emotional pull. Countryside chic evokes memories of quiet landscapes, layered textures, and comfort, but translates seamlessly into urban life. It is a dialogue between rustic warmth and metropolitan sharpness. Ask yourself, do you gravitate toward the simplicity of rural charm, or do you prefer the efficiency of a streamlined city wardrobe? Or do you find yourself blending the two to create a look that feels both approachable and elevated? Studies from ARP 2022 Style Survey show that nearly 54% of women over 55 embrace heritage-inspired clothing at least once a season, largely because it makes them feel both confident and connected. That balance between personal memory and contemporary polish is precisely why countryside chic endures. When styled intentionally, plaid outerwear grounded by solid boots, equestrian jackets softened with silk, rustic notes paired with modern cuts, this look delivers elegance that is lived in rather than staged. And once we understand how to harness heritage to tell a personal style story, the conversation naturally turns to how investing in lasting, sustainable pieces ensures that elegance doesn't fade with time but becomes a legacy. Sustainable fashion is no longer a niche concept. It has become an essential part of how women over 50 approach their wardrobes. The philosophy of slow fashion emphasizes buying less but better, choosing natural fabrics, paying attention to craftsmanship, and focusing on designs that transcend trends. At this stage of life, style is not about accumulation, but about building a collection that feels intentional, enduring, and reflective of personal values. Data underscores this shift. McKinsey & Company's 2024 State of Fashion report found that 65% of American women over 50 prioritize fewer purchases of higher quality pieces, while more than 70% believe that investing in well-made clothing boosts long-term confidence and reduces wasteful spending. This aligns with what I see in practice. Mature women want their wardrobes to embody both elegance and responsibility. My own experience confirms the value of investment. More than a decade ago, I purchased a pale gray cashmere coat. At the time, it felt indulgent, but season after season, it has proven its worth. The fibers remain supple, the shape never loses its clean lines, and every winter when I wear it, I receive compliments as though it were new. That coat has become more than clothing, it is part of my personal story. Do you own a piece that, despite its age, still makes you feel polished the moment you put it on? Sustainability is not just about materials like silk, linen blends, or cashmere. It is also about care and longevity. A leather handbag, if conditioned properly, can be passed down to the next generation. A silk dress can be worn to dozens of occasions, each time refreshed with a change of accessories. The question worth asking is, how many pieces in your closet have you worn at least 5 times this past year, and how many remain untouched? The environmental impact of extending the life of clothing is equally compelling. According to the Ellen MacArthur Foundation, fashion accounts for nearly 10% of global carbon emissions, and simply wearing a garment for an additional 9 months reduces its carbon footprint by up to 30%. This makes every decision to buy better and wear longer a meaningful contribution to both personal style and planetary health. When we choose intentionally, the wardrobe becomes lighter yet more versatile. Each item carries meaning, each tells a story. And once these foundations are in place, the next step is to bring all elements together: fabric, color, tailoring, details, accessories, and values into a single statement of timeless personal style. When fabric, fit, details, accessories, occasion, and confidence align, style stops being accidental and becomes intentional. Each element carries its own weight, but together they create a look that feels seamless and timeless. Fabric defines quality and comfort. Color determines how radiant or tired the skin appears. Fit establishes balance, elongates the frame, and highlights strengths. Details, whether in buttons, stitching, or cuffs, signal refinement. Accessories give polish and allow individuality to shine. Dressing for the right occasion ensures relevance, and confidence transforms everything from simple clothing into a personal statement. According to the AARP 2023 Style Survey, 74% of women over 55 ranked self-assurance as the single most important factor in feeling stylish, surpassing trends or price. I experienced this firsthand during a professional conference. I wore a silk blouse in champagne for luminosity, paired it with a tailored blazer cut to my frame, and added understated pearl studs. The outfit was completed with neutral heels and a structured bag. None of these pieces alone were remarkable, but together, with the confidence I carried into the room, they created an impression that colleagues described as elegant and commanding. This reinforced what years of styling have shown me. It is the sum of choices, not a single garment, that defines presence. Ask yourself, do the basics in your closet harmonize with one another, or are they competing for attention? When you put together an outfit, are you considering how fabric, color, and silhouette interact? Or are you grabbing items without thought to cohesion? Do you feel more powerful when all elements align, even if the pieces are simple? McKinsey's 2024 State of Fashion report notes that women over 50 account for more than 30% of luxury apparel spending in the U.S., with purchases focused on timeless items designed to last. This shows a collective shift toward wardrobes that embody longevity and elegance, not disposable trends. When the full formula comes together, age is no longer part of the conversation. Style becomes an expression of self, ageless, adaptable, and deeply personal. From here, the natural progression is not to chase every seasonal update, but to curate selectively, weaving new influences into a foundation that already feels complete. That is the essence of timeless fashion. Timeless style rests on a few essential principles that never fail. Natural fabrics provide comfort and longevity. Colors chosen to complement the complexion add radiance, And silhouettes that skim rather than squeeze ensure elegance without restriction. Subtle details, buttons, seams, finishes signal refinement, while accessories and hair complete the picture, allowing every look to feel intentional. And above all, confidence is the element that makes even the simplest outfit resonate. Research supports what experience proves. According to the AARP 2023 Style Survey, 74% of women over 55 believe confidence outweighs both trends and price in creating true style. That finding aligns with what I've seen working with clients. When a woman feels assured in her choices, her clothing becomes an extension of her presence rather than a costume. In my own life, I've found that an outfit built from these principles changes how I move through a room. A silk blouse in a shade that brightens my skin, tailored trousers that fall cleanly, and a structured blazer with just the right detail, paired with understated jewelry and polished hair, are enough to create a lasting impression. The power lies not in extravagance but in harmony. Ask yourself, do your current wardrobe staples reflect this balance? Are they chosen with intention or are they simply familiar? Could you introduce one new piece this week, a blouse in a fresh color, a softer hairstyle, or a refined accessory, to test how it shifts not only how others see you, but how you see yourself? Style is not about dressing younger or older. It is about creating a wardrobe that serves who you are now and allows you to project strength, warmth, and individuality. Clothing does not define you, but it gives the world a chance to see the most radiant version of you. Thank you for joining me. To continue exploring how women over 50 can refine their style with confidence, subscribe to Confident Beauty Over 60, share your own experiences in the comments, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.